Hey there YouTube, welcome to day 7 of 100 days of Webflow. Today we're going to connect MailerLite to Webflow forms using Webflow logic. The video is going to be simple. It's just a process that we're going to go through, so bear with me through it. I'm going to leave a documentation for the steps that we're going to go through in this video and the link below in the description, so check it out if you need to. However, this is going to be super simple, so let's get to it. First thing is making a Webflow form, of course. So I have this form here that is a subscribe form, and I want to connect this to MailerLite. Now, before we used to use Zapier or Make to connect this. Now, I don't want to do that. I'm going to use Webflow logic to directly do this between Webflow and MailerLite. So the first thing, I'm going to go to my form and I'm going to make the source to be logic. So in the form settings, I go to source, logic, and then I'm going to add a new flow. And I'm going to call this flow MailerLite subscribers. And then for this one is going to be an HTTP request. So when the form is submitted, there is an HTTP request that's happening, and this will be sent to MailerLite. And we're going to use an API token. Now we're going to go back to MailerLite just to get that token. Now if you go to your MailerLite, you make an account. They have a free plan, so you can check that out. We're going to go to integrations, and then we're going to go to API. We're going to use that. And here we can create a new API token. Now I'm using this API token only in this video, so I will remove it probably later on, but this is how you do it. You name this. So we're going to name this Webflow Forms. And then it creates an API key for you. You copy this and then you go back to Webflow. And then in our HTTP request, since we chose API, we're going to add it to header. So it's going to go there. And then we're going to select credential. We're going to add a new credential. And this will be MailerLite API video tutorial, so that I can distinguish later on. And here we paste in the token, but we paste in the token in this way. So we go bearer first, as such, and then paste in the key, and then we click create, and now it created that credential for us. In the header, we're gonna write authorization, because that's the field. So it's authorization, we have the credential API, and then the request method will be post, because we're gonna send that, we're gonna post this information back to MailerLite. And here we're gonna paste in a URL that is given in the MailerLite documentation. So if you go to the documentation, you can find those keys. So if I go to subscribers, if I wanna create a new subscriber, I will use this base URL. And as you can see, we're gonna use method post, and we're gonna paste this URL here. Now for the body, also, you can find that in the documentation. You can see here, we're going to use something like this. But in our case, we're only using email, so we won't need any groups. But if you are using more than email, for example, a name or a phone number, you're going to put it inside fields. So it's going to be fields, and then you open an object, and then that's where you paste in those fields. But for email, it's just separate on its own. So now we have email, but I don't want this email, of course. I want to have my user email. So I'm going to delete this. And then between those quotation marks, I'm going to go to this purple dot here. I'm going to click it. And I'm going to go to my form fields, and I'm going to go to email subscribe. Now this is the form field I already set up on Webflow, the one we saw earlier. So now we're going to run a test to see if this is working fine, if everything is connected. We're going to give an email address. So I'm just going to input an email address here, and then we're going to run this test, and let's see if this is connected, if everything is working fine. So now we can see that there are no errors, so everything should be fine. And if we open this data JSON, well, in this view, you can see all the information that has been parsed back to MailerLite, including the email, which is what we want. And now if we apply the data, this is actually going to get on MailerLite. So if I go back to my MailerLite dashboard, so if I go to MailerLite, and I can log in, I'm already logged in. I go to my MailerLite, and if we go to subscribers, as you can see here, this is the one I just did. So as you can see, it's already created. Now once I publish on my main site, so I stage this for publish and go back, and I can publish this on my main site. And now I can collect subscribers directly to MailerLite. So whenever anyone fills in this form, fills in this field, it's going to connect to MailerLite, and it's going to bring that email there. So if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, you can go ahead and do that now. Also, subscribe to this channel if you're liking this content. If you're liking this video, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow in the next one.